This is extremely obvious, but one of the biggest advantages that Apple has in terms of building a coherent ecosystem is the fact that they're the only ones making Apple products. If you look across the fence at the Android devices, it is a totally different story. Yes, you could just buy only Samsung things, have a Samsung phone, a Galaxy Tab, maybe some Galaxy Buds in your ears, maybe a Galaxy Watch on your wrist, and you could accomplish the same sort of thing. But to me, that's a little bit defeating the purpose of Android. The fact that there is so much variety is what draws so many of us to Android. So someone like myself, well, I end up having sort of a mishmash where I'm not really in any ecosystem except for the Android ecosystem, which isn't really the same thing as what Apple is doing, right? There's a Pixel phone in my pocket. There is a Pixel watch on my wrist. So I'm kind of a little bit into the Pixel thing, but I'm not using Pixel Buds in my ears. I'm not using a Pixel tablet. So it is a bit of a mishmash. And this is something that Google, I think, as of late, appears to be attempting to address. It seems like they're trying to push this stuff further and further. And in this video, we got to look at a tweet with some pretty cool information. What we're looking at here is a screen recording from Google Play Services beta version 24.06.1.2, and they enabled this with a whole bunch of flags. So this is buried in a Google Play Services beta. It is not functional, but you can sort of surface it so that you can actually see what's going on here. And what is going on here is really, really interesting. And it is some sort of Apple-ish stuff, but it appears to me as though it may be OEM agnostic, maybe you could say. So if we let this play forward, cross-device services. Now, look, we've seen some of these things before, some stuff that's pretty cool, like the Chromebook option. If you have a Chromebook, your Android device will sync up to that Chromebook, and down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's this little option that lets you see your notifications. It lets you see recent photos, recent Chrome tabs. Heck, it even lets you stream apps from your phone to your Chromebook. This is very, iPhone, MacBook-ish. And I dig it. It's really, really cool. And you can also share your internet connection. I should mention that as well. You have your phone, you press one button on your Chromebook, and your cellular data goes straight into that Chromebook, and you're off and running. But they're going to take this a step further. He clicks on this, and you have these little options popping up. And if you think this is something they're just maybe testing and not going to roll out, well, they've got some graphics, and they've really, it looks to be almost complete. So I think this is happening. See video calls across your devices and switch between them. Go to the next one. Automatically share Wi-Fi passwords and hotspot access. Go to the next one. Get new cross-device features as soon as they are released. And he's going to go to get started here in a moment. And we're going to see more specifically what we're talking about. You can see that you can toggle in different devices to make a device group. So that's definitely important. Maybe you have some old Android devices you're not using. You want to exclude them from this. You can choose to opt in or opt out particular devices. But here's the interesting stuff here. Call cast. Switch between devices for calls. So this appears to me to mean you've got your Android phone, and maybe you've got an Android tablet, and it's maybe not a Pixel like your Pixel. Maybe it's a Galaxy. Maybe it's whatever it is. But it's signed in. You get a phone call here, and on your tablet, conceivably, you would be able to answer that phone call, or at minimum answer it on your phone and then toss it over to your tablet and carry that conversation over there. What about internet sharing? That's really, really cool as well. You can, go into your phone and turn on the mobile hotspot and do that sort of thing. But this is a more automatic, more direct way to share your connection, specifically with your devices. And as he jumps forward, we do indeed get more clarity. Move calls between this device and other nearby devices signed into your Google account. And like I said earlier, maybe the coolest thing about this is that it works across any different OEM. As long as the OEM opts into this, which you would assume that they will, you can do this with a mishmash of different devices. You don't have to be locked into one OEM. It doesn't have to be all Pixel, all Samsung, all Motorola, whoever it might be. it should work across all devices, which is basically taking the Apple ecosystem type concept of like, hey, all your Apple stuff works together, great. But then applying it to an operating system that spans across multiple different sorts of devices from multiple different companies. So again, it's taking the Apple thing, but doing it more in the Google way, which I am absolutely here for. I am absolutely in favor of. You know, there's a lot of criticism that could be levied against Google over the last few years, some of the things that they've done that I personally haven't loved, but you cannot argue that they have not become laser focused on certain things, laser focused on truly competing in certain different aspects of this smartphone race. And the result has been Pixel phones are selling better and better and better each year. And if we keep getting features like this coming to all of our devices, we really aren't going to be able to complain a whole heck of a lot. Guys, what do you think about this, though? Is this stuff that you would use personally? I think it is. I mean, I think we need to continue rolling these sorts of things out. I love the idea of having one device and it communicating with all my other devices. One big, massive, huge thing that they absolutely need to do is let's take this to the logical conclusion, and Google Messages needs to get in on this. I know I can use Messages for web on my other devices, but make Google Messages be just like iMessage. And no, not in the toxic ways, but in the sense that if I'm on my Pixel Fold and I have my Google Messages account on there and I'm talking to people and I pick up my OnePlus Open, when I pull up Google Messages, I want all my messages to have synced. I want them all to just be there. I don't want to have to use a third-party app to sync my text messages. Have them just sync. How cool would that be? The ability to just move from device to device. All your messages are still there. So this stuff is cool, but let's keep going. And again, hit those comments and tell me what you think about this down there. Subscribe for more content just like this. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.